Welcome back. Today we're going to work on a little bit of fire building skills. We're going to collect a little bit of fat wood, process it down, and get our fire started with a Ferro Rod. It's more than often when we're camping we're going to be needing to build a fire. Lots of times it could be pouring down the rain and all of your material is soaking wet. We need to find something dry that we can be able to build a fire with quick and easy. One of the easiest ways to get a fire built is using fat wood. What is fat wood and where do you find it? Fat wood comes from pine trees. It'd be dead, either standing or falling down. You can find it in the limbs, right up next to the trunk, or even down at the stump and the base where all the resin collects and solidifies in there, where the outside shell might rot away, but where all that resin solidifies down in the center core of the wood. That is what we're looking for. So here's a pine tree that has fallen down. Right there's the stump of it, and here's the root system. I've already cut off a piece right here. So let's just go ahead and harvest a little bit more off of this section, and then we're going to take a chunk off of this right here. Covered this and started to expose this root. All of it was covered with a layer of this rotten, wet, crumbly layer, but the inside is still pretty solid. Yeah, definitely seeing a lot more of the resin inside of here. Further we go in, the more resin that we'll get out of this. So let's get inside of this just a little bit. It's got a heavy smell a little bit more on the inside. This has been soaking wet from all the rain that we've got. It was covered with wet dirt, and it had that wet, rotten outer core to it. It should start burning black. You can see that black smoke. That's that resin burning off in there. It's getting to the core of it. It definitely has a more heavy scent in the inside. Now that we got a couple of these pieces split down a little bit smaller to the inner core, what we want to do is just go ahead and make a feather stick. If I can do it here properly. There we go. Let's take some nice easy light slices down. Leaving it attached at the bottom. Couple feather sticks there. I'm going to put a few of these in my little pocket stove. This small piece of the center, I'm just going to get some dust off of it. Just take my knife and do some scraping. Alright, so I got that pile of dust. Let's get a spark. Get this going. And I'm going to transfer this. Not only did we utilize a little bit of fat wood, that light little scraping to get it started with our Ferro Rod, but we harvested a little bit of pine needles as well to make a little pine needle tea. And that is coming from a white pine, high vitamin C, good antioxidant, really good for you. Kind of mild in flavor. Thank you for joining me today. Stay tuned. Laters, y'all.